Howdy Westies, I hope you are enjoying the sorta more normal weather these days after the nasty, cold, and rainy stuff we had last weekend. That was gross, right? It is now clearly looking like early summer, and I am here for it. Speaking about summer, I want to give you a bit of a roadmap for the goings-on here at the church over the course of the next few months. A few of you have asked what kind of activities we're going to be resuming now that the session has decided that we can do things in more typical ways that we're used to. I thought this would be a good time to make sure that everybody's on the same page. So things have progressed a lot in the last month, haven't they? I mean, crazy. Last Sunday, we had our first worship service in 15 months where vaccinated folks had the option of worshiping without a mask. I gotta tell you, as a preacher in a pulpit, it was nice to see expressive looks on your faces. It was so wonderful. But people are wondering what else is in store. Now that we're kind of starting to inch our way back into some normalcy, what else can we count on now that we can relatively safely gather in person? Well, I've asked the staff to take advantage of the normal summer schedule, kind of that everybody is, going to the lakes, going on vacations, doing all those kinds of things. I've asked the staff to take advantage of the normal summer schedule and focus all of our energies on a big blowout come fall time. After more than a year away, I'm sure you can understand, we're working with our session committees to build back a lot of our infrastructure, a lot of our volunteer infrastructure in particular. We're trying to build back the roster of Sunday school volunteers and ushers and greeters for worship, and a lot of you are volunteering and stepping up for that, and thank you for that. We're getting curriculum lined out and ready for our kids, ready to go with that come fall. Ann Dawson, our newly minted Director of Worship Arts, she's going to be resuming choir rehearsals in August. I'm so excited about the choir coming back. That's going to be fantastic. I'm telling you, once we hit Labor Day, it could very well feel crazy and crazy normal around here. So that's what we're looking towards. We had no idea that things would go as fast as they did, getting as good as they did. We had no idea when we could come back. So we're focusing all of our energies on the fall. We're still looking for all sorts of volunteers. If there's a place that you feel like you could contribute to the life of Westminster, please do let us know. I want to give you a bit of a preview about what we're going to be talking about this Sunday, and to do that, I want to read you a little bit of a book called Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis. C.S. Lewis, author of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, he was also one of the preeminent theologians of the last century, and he tells this story about a young kid and their father that I think can teach us a little bit about our relationship to God. Here's how it goes. This is in a section about faith, about what faith looks like. And C.S. Lewis writes this. He says, every faculty you have, your power of thinking or moving your limbs from moment to moment, all of that is given to you by God. If you devoted every single moment of your life exclusively to God's service, you could not give God that was anything that was not already, in one sense, already God's own. So when we talk about doing anything for God or giving anything to God, I will tell you what it's really like, he says. He says, it's like a small child going to its father and saying, Daddy, give me 6 pence to buy you a birthday present. Now, of course, the father does do this, and the father is pleased with the child's present. It is all very nice and proper, but then Lewis says this. He says, but only an idiot would think that the father is 6 pence good on the transaction, right? We have everything that we have is from God, and even though we use it to try to serve God and for God's benefit, it's all God's. But what happens when we're not using it to serve God's benefit? Or what happens when we don't know how to use the stuff that we've been given for God's benefit? Do we screw things up? Do we screw things up? The question we're going to ask this Sunday is, what really is our relationship to God in terms of the things that we've been entrusted with? What is our responsibility and our relationship to God in terms of all the good things that we've been entrusted with? You know as well as I do, life is a little chaotic right now. Life is always chaotic. and we're trying to make choices to please God. What happens if we make the wrong choice? What happens if we make the wrong choice? We're going to be reading the story of Samuel and the Israelites right before they got a king. They were asking the same question: are we doing the right thing? What happens if we make the wrong choice? So, it's going to be hopeful. A preacher can't preach without it being hopeful. So come on to worship either 8:30 or 10 o'clock here at the Chartel campus, 5 o'clock up at the Rockwell campus. Friends, I'm excited to be with you for worship again this Sunday and for the rest of the summer. Friends, I can't talk. I'll see you on Sunday. Peace be with you.